I was sitting on a bench near that hippie hill in San Francisco, and I was chanting my rounds, and a very old black man came by. And he went up to me and said, "That old man who started this thing, he was a cool cat." He said, "I was living in the Bowery, and he was living in a house. It was a complete mess." He said, "Then again, Jesus was born in a barn." And then he walked away. I remember another time we were walking with Srila Prabhupada in Paris, and it was under the Eiffel Tower. I think it was Shivananda. He went to Srila Prabhupada when he stopped doing the japa walk, and he said to Srila Prabhupada, "What about your internal life, Srila Prabhupada?" And Prabhupada immediately, he was very strong. He said, "That you do not require." And so, I think it was Shivananda, he asked again, "But Srila Prabhupada would like to know, what about your internal life?" Prabhupada became very furious. He said, "That you do not require." And he turned away and walked on, disgusted. And so we could understand that these things, what is going on between the pure devotee and with Krishna, they're very personal and they're very private, and they're not meant for public display. The sentiments and the exchange between Krishna and his pure devotee on the Raga Nuga platform, they are not subject to discussion or to attendance of evening classes. They are very personal, very private, very precious. And Srila Prabhupada thought that what he expressed later also, first, First deserve, then desire. That we were like fools trying to enter in something which was very dear to him. There was a lecture going on. Prabhupada spoke on the 4 classes of men, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And this was in front of a university crowd, a rowdy crowd of students, particularly in Sweden, where nothing is holy and nothing is sacred. And so as soon as Prabhupada finished, the students stood up right in front and said, "Of course you think you're a first-class man." Prabhupada lectured first class, second class, third class man, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya. You're thinking you're a first-class man sitting in a sea of followers covered with flowers, sitting on a high exalted seat. You think you're first class. And I was boiling, just about to pounce on the Prabhupada. If he would have made just a little sign, I would have just ripped this man into shreds. Well, anyway, coming from Germany, we are very expert to deal with these matters. So, in any way, I was just ready. My blood was boiling. But it was dead silent in the room. Nobody spoke a word. You could hear a pin falling on the ground. And then Prabhupada said, he was pleading with the man, practically speaking. He said, "No, no, no." He said, like this with his hands. He said, "No, no, no. I'm not a first-class man." He said, "I'm a fifth-class man." And so everybody was shocked. It was dead silent for a little while. And then Prabhupada said, in this deafening silence, he said, "Because I'm the servant of everyone." And we were just astounded when he said this. And I saw behind his lip was quivering, He was deeply, when he spoke it, he knew it was true, that he was a servant of the whole world. And so 2 big tears came behind his spectacles. And that I saw, because I was right there. How he cried when he said this. And it was so clear that he was really the servant of the whole world, that he didn't think much of himself, like we have heard before, that he was so humble, that he had so much Shakti on one side, and on the other side, that he was so humble that he considered himself, in fact, fifth class, the servant of everyone, the person who was supporting everybody, serving everybody, giving to everybody, and not expecting anything in return.
I thought it was such a sublime display of such a pure devotee of Krishna. It was very moving, and I will never be able to forget it.
I remember another time, Srila Prabhupada, he was in France, and we had this beautiful, gorgeous temple in Germany. It was a headquarters, a Rettershof, but in the aftermath of the previous GBC, who caused a lot of trouble in Germany and later left. Germany was kind of in shambles. There was some trouble we had with the government. This is well known in the movement. And so it was Jai Tirtha who went to Srila Prabhupada, and he thought that we were not be able to maintain this temple. It would have been better to split up in smaller centers. But Prabhupada always liked this temple. When he came there, he appreciated the deities were there, and it was a brilliant location actually in the middle of Germany. And when he heard it, he said to him, even if your child has been born deaf and blind, doesn't mean you kill it. And we were kind of shocked that he said that. And he became very angry. He said, doesn't mean you kill it. And Jai Tirtha said, no. Prabhupada said, don't become Rolling Stone. He said, become determined. Je anilo